Hey everybody, it's Currency Relics. Back here again with another video. And today I want to show you guys, some updates I've made and take you guys through some tips and tricks that I've learned, throughout collecting over these past, 12 years of collecting. So this is going to be a little bit on the informal side, but I just wanted to show you guys what I'm up to because everyone's always asking me for some more videos. So here we go. All right, right here you'll see I have some postcards, and on them I have a particular type. And right now these postcards are serving as an outline for the notes that I currently don't have, but I would like to have it in my version of a complete collection. And so far what I have is just my first stab at outlining type notes. It's definitely been pretty tricky because some seem to be variations, some are definitely types. I've still got a lot of studying to do and some deliberation with some of these other folks here on YouTube, but here I include the demand notes, which I don't have yet. And then here are the 1862 notes. I've got the 1 and the 2 here. With my collection, I've started collecting like pretty low grade notes, and I kind of like having the notes that have seen circulation. But over time, I've decided that I have a little bit of standards when it comes to what I'm buying, and like this note right here is an example of one that I bought when I was younger and I didn't have a whole ton of money, so I went with cheap options. But now I like having notes that are at least whole and you can see pretty much all the details. So that takes me to like a super nice, very good to a fine. That's kind of like my new standard, and I have some notes in very fine, but that's just one of the notes that I plan on upgrading at some point. Some more missing notes, obviously super tough. This is another note that, it's in that fine range, but that corner missing, that's not ideal for me anymore. It was okay when I bought it, but now I would like to have a little bit better example. But right now I'm satisfied with having something in the slot. Same with this 5. See, I know my lighting here isn't great, but I'll get that in later. So here I have what I like to call the floral design, where they have these nice fancy overprints. And I'm not exactly sure if you can call these their own type, but I have them regardless. I think they look pretty unique. So, and they're not crazy expensive. But if you're chasing after a nice type set, then you might not want to put all the money into this series, or maybe you just do you skip the 1880s and you do these, these 1874s to 1878s. It's a beautiful note. So I'm missing a lot of the florals. But I'll knock those off eventually. This page is kind of hard to move over. This is another note I bought when I was early on my collecting journey. This one as well. And they're still decent representatives, but definitely notes I'd want to upgrade at some point. This one's from the Doug Murray collection. I've always had a thing for pedigreed notes. I think it's really neat having notes from different esteemed collections. Missing the 50 and the 100 for the 1880s. Another note, this is one of my first notes that I ever got. I got it for $50 at a coin show. Definitely an easy type to replace and get a real nice example. But for now, they serve their purpose. Right now, I'm just trying to get all these holes filled with decent notes and not making the same mistakes I used to before by buying too cheap for my taste. One of my favorite notes, 1923 $1 red seal. Poker chip. Really nice 1880 $20 blackback. So this is an example of a VG note that I think is super clean and totally serves its purpose. You know, I'm never gonna have a problem with this note, and it's a super expensive note even in the condition it's in. I think I paid $3,600 for this. It's a super tough note, and I am missing the 10, the Morris note. But that's one of the notes that I really want in the near future. Obviously missing the 50 and 100 for that series. $1886 silver certificates, another great series. I think I did well in these two. Finally got the Morgan back after a long time. Real long time. Let me take this one out. So this one's paper is a little toned, but I don't care about that. This is still a beautiful note. Nice VF note. Let's see if I can get it in. Boom. We've got the 86 Tombstone. Missing the last one for the 1886. That's a tough note, but that's going to be a fun one to track down. That's part of the fun. I like completing these series, but it takes time, and that's part of the fun because it's really rewarding once you do finally finish one of these series. So this is another note that I'm definitely gonna... I bought this one just as a hole filler, and this one is common enough that I can get a better note for a lot less than what I've been buying most of them for. So that one will get replaced sooner or later, but it serves its purpose for now. They're not that rare. I have the 5. And the 10 now in a legacy holder. So far, I have no complaints with the accuracy of Legacy's grading, but just because of the value, I wouldn't buy any uncirculated notes from them. I would just stick with the big 2 with PCGS and PMG when it comes to high grade notes. Got the 20 and 50 still. This one deserves a spotlight, I think. I'm missing the 100 from the 1891, but that's it. That is it, except for the... No, I'm actually not sure if that series had a 500 or 1000. I think it did, though. I think there was a 500 and 1000 from the 1891, but they're super tough. Onto the educationals. I have that series. That's one of my few that I have completed. 1, 2, and the 5. And the 5, it's a little dark. This might be one I want to upgrade at some point. Still a solid note. That's it for the 1896, 1899s. Got the 1. There's another one of my early purchases. It's got a tear right here, but I still think it's a solid type. Have the mini porthole. And the Chief. Big porthole. My first note ever. 1923. Onto the gold certificates. These two might see upgrades one day, but these are super tough and expensive in good shape. Missing the 1882 100, the 500. This is my grail note that I would hope to own one day, but you know, realistically may not. I don't know, but the 1882 1000 gold certificate is by far my favorite. And I'm including the 1900 10,000 in my type set, but I am not including the 1879 $10 refunding certificate because I know that 10,000 wasn't, you couldn't really redeem that in circulation. That was just for bank-to-bank transfers, but I don't think it worked the same way with 1879. I could be wrong, but for now, that's why I have not included that note. $30 back on these 1905 $20 Technicolors. They're kind of known for oxidizing really fast, especially the Technicolors. So I am missing the 500 and 1000, both very tough notes. Maybe one day. Moving on to the Treasury notes. The 1890 series. So this is definitely a whole filler. It's got those big pieces of tape, but I just wanted it, and I found it pretty cheap, so I went after it. 1892, pretty nice note. I won't pull it out. Missing the 5, 10, and the 20. All the 5 and the 10 are roughly $1,500 to $2,000 notes in like mid-grade. The 20 is more like a $3,000 to $4,500 note, and the 1890, that's the original watermelon note. The baby watermelon, that one is very expensive. This is another one I want to upgrade one day. $2 McPherson. $10 Sheridan, 1891. Pretty nice note. Missing the 20 and the very, very, very difficult 50. That's a 6-figure note easy. No telling if I'll ever have that one. So these 1914s were the first set I ever pieced together in its entirety. It's a really great place for like a newer type collector to get their feet wet, because it does not cost a ton to complete this set, and it's a beautiful series. It's simple. There's beauty and simplicity. The 100. So currently I only want one red seal example instead of getting every denomination with the red seal. I just think it would be a waste of money for now, but I still have to determine, I have to talk to some people and figure out if I need that for my typeset. If that's necessary, then I'll do it. But for now, my focus is on those more difficult types. It's still relatively cheap to put together from the 5 to the 20 compared to other types, but once you get to the 50 and the 100, they get really tough. It's the 1918 Flying Eagle, the battleship note. This series is definitely not very popular, especially after the Flying Eagle and the battleship, and the 5 through the 20 and the 50. I mean, the 50 gets a lot of respect, but the 5, 10s, and 20s are rare notes, but they're just not collected like that. And the 10s and the 20s come in the series of 1915 as well. I'm lumping that together with the 1918s. Meaning if I find a good 1915-20, I'd be satisfied. It doesn't have to be a 1918. Right here I've got some nationals. So got the original series Ace. I did pick up a Lazy Deuce. It's got quite a lot of repairs going on, but I think the overall design elements still pop and look good, especially at this grade level. So this is an interesting note as well. So this one actually is a replacement note, and you'll see by the plate number is a little star off to the left. Never knew about it until I came across this one, so I picked it up. I'm not sure how much value it really adds, but it definitely adds to the cool factor and the curiosity. And that beautiful 10. I'm missing the 20. That one is on deck in terms of notes I need for my collection, but I did pick up this monster of a 50. So this is an 1875 $50 national banknote. There are roughly 73 of these notes left remaining, only 12 or 13 in the state of Pennsylvania, which happens to be the state I live in, and this is definitely the closest one to me. The only one from Reading. This is a monster of a note, and I was not really realistically ever planning on being able to acquire this note, but the opportunity presented itself and I took it. Definitely happy with that one. Let's see if I can get it back. I'm missing the 100, and we'll probably be missing that for a while. And this brown back. So when it comes to these brown backs, the value backs, the date backs, initially I only wanted one example, but again, this is my first stab and I may change my mind. Also, I'm missing one empty spot for the gold backs. The gold backs are very tough. And I have the 5. 10 of the 1902s, and likewise with the 1914 red seal. The 1902, I only really plan on getting one red seal example. 20, 50, and the 100. And this is a note that I plan on upgrading because of this corner. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is just a little update on everything, and I plan on doing some more videos in the future besides my annual updates. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.